I think about my parents a lot because, I mean, the world is getting very futuristic. And like them, I'm from the 1900s. You gotta watch out for the 1900s, people. We're old. It's so, I mean, my great Aunt Helen from the 30s, she's deaf. They didn't know she was deaf back then. The doctors, they had no idea. They were baffled. That's how good doctors were back then. They just said, they looked at her as they smoked in her face. These were real doctors. They were like, oh no. She's rude, I'll tell you that.
When I was at the grocery store, I got caught like in this weird thing with this dude. So I was standing in line, and I was behind this guy, this white guy, and he pulled out the white race card. I don't know if y'all knew we had a card, but he had one. So I'm standing behind him, and I just hear him argue. I hear him just go, "What is it? Because I'm white? Is that why you're doing this? Because I'm white?" And he looked at me they're like, "Hey, are you gonna get involved?" Come on. I was sitting there. I was like, "No, I'm not getting involved in this. I'm not ready for something like this. I think you're the first guy ever to try this, to be honest with you. I'm not prepared at all. If you wanted me to help you, you should have pulled me aside earlier. You should have grabbed me look, I'm gonna make history today. Do you want to be a part of this or not?"
So we would go watch my dad. So my dad would do magic. Right next to him, they had a donkey jumping off a high dive into a pool. So pretty hard to keep everybody's attention. When my dad is like, "Is this your card?" And everybody, "This donkey's about to jump off this high dive." That's something you don't think you want to see till it's up there. And I use the word jump very loosely. These donkeys are falling off this high dive. But you can't put that on the sign, you know? You don't watch a donkey fall off a high dive? No? Okay. What if he jumped? Well, at least he's into it. So the donkey would go up this ramp 40 feet in the air, and it would just stand there because it doesn't want to jump. It's not in on this. But it gets stuck because donkeys can't walk backwards. Not positive if that is true. But I've never seen a donkey go backwards. I've never even really looked, but I honestly think 45 years I would have seen a couple donkeys go backwards. So the donkey stays there, and he sends a dog up the ramp. It barks at the donkey, and the donkey jumps in the pool. And as someone that has seen this, I'll tell you, when that donkey hits the water, you're like, we should probably get out of here. It's not as fun as you thought it would be. I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but you're really surprised you're seeing what the sign said you would see. PETA got a hold of that. They shut it down, and that was one I think everybody was like, fair enough, we get that. I don't know anything about history, and I can tell because every history movie I watch on the edge of my seat. What is gonna happen? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, you know?
we've been traveling around like crazy, doing all these driving dates and super fun. I like traveling. I love being on the road. I remember one time I was in Los Angeles, and I was going to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas the next day, and I had a really early flight. So I remember like the night before, I was like, just be normal and, you know, have a normal night. And ended up hanging out, become a bit of a problem. And I wake up the next day, and my flight is gone. I mean, I've missed it. And it's not like it's at the gate. It is in Austin, Texas. They are checking into their hotel. So I go to get my phone to get another flight. I've lost my phone. The night before, I lost it. So now I don't have my phone. So I have to go buy a ticket over the counter like it's the 50s. And when you walk up to a counter, they don't expect you to be buying a ticket like that. I got up there, and they were like, all right. I was like, I would like one ticket to Austin, Texas, please. And they said, all right, go buy it, and don't be weird about it. I go, nope, I'd like to write a check to you for one ticket to Austin, Texas. They didn't have a flight, so I have to do that at every terminal. I just have to keep going. One ticket to Austin, Texas, please. I finally found a flight, but the girl behind the counter, she's never sold a ticket like that. She's like, after 10 years, that no one's ever done this. And she goes, I don't know how to do it. And she went back and got, I mean, probably the oldest lady I've ever seen. I think she's there for just this reason. And she came out, she had like that old credit card machine that you run. And she's like, I got it. This is super fun for me. It was weird to not have my phone. I mean, everybody has their phone. I was going through the airport, and you just don't have it, and you just stare. I mean, we were waiting in line, and you're just like looking ahead, and people are just like, all right, dude, what is wrong with you? I mean, just regular people, like, where's your phone? I'm like, I don't have it. I would like to talk to you, though. If you would talk to me, I'd love to chat for a little bit. I had to take reading. I took reading. I drove to that class. I drove to a reading class. I'm not even an immigrant. I am from here. I should have knocked that out years ago. Everything, I think they were just impressed when you made it to the class. They were like, look who made it today, buddy. You're like, funny guys. These are good. The best. My dad is a magician. He's done that my entire life. He was a clown at the very beginning, just in case you're like, how do you get into something like that? He goes clown and magic. There's 2 steps. You can take them in either order. I was born, he was a clown. It was never weird to me. I thought everybody's dad was a clown. My first memory of my life is I was 5 years old, and I remember my mom walked me out to the front yard, and my dad pulled up with this old red Mazda. He's dressed as a clown. That doesn't even faze me. That's just how he left. How else would he come home? And the Easter Bunny was in the passenger seat. That's the first thing that I remember to my life. If you want to know how you get into comedy, that's a pretty good nudge. And I remember it didn't fit, the Easter Bunny head didn't fit in the car, like he couldn't sit normal, so his head was bent to the side. And I remember he had his seatbelt on, and he's just like, and I was like, I like to think about all the other people that saw that just in the car next to him, just at a red light. You're like, I didn't even know they hung out like that. So me and my dad, he just does magic now, and he's very good at what he does. He's very funny, and we do shows together. So one time magicians have conventions where they get together and they're buy and sell tricks, and they give a lecture, and they do this big show. So this guy was putting one together in Des Moines, Iowa, which is the birthplace of magic, something a lot of people don't know. And it's not, but it does sound like it could be. I don't know why. I said that in Des Moines, and people are like, I think I already knew that. They're like, yeah, he's right. So this guy calls me, he's like, your dad's performing this year, so we want you to come down, and we're gonna make you appear out of a magic trick. I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna surprise my dad, surprise the audience, everybody will go crazy, and then I'll do 5 minutes of stand-up, and that will end the show. He's like, it's gonna be like a big deal. I was like, all right, I agreed to it. I fly to Des Moines, I'm hiding, I'm in my room, no one knows I'm there. The show starts, my dad's out performing, I climb in a box backstage. When my dad gets done performing, they ask him to stay and help, they push the box out. The trick is, the guy is a very pretty lady assistant, she walks around, shows the box is empty, and then she climbs in, normally it just falls apart, and then but now it falls apart, and it's me, and I pop out. And you have to come out big. I don't know if you've ever appeared out of a magic trick, but if you do, yeah, you can't just be like, how you doing? You know, like, it's gotta be a grand, like, can you believe it? And I look at my dad, his face is so surprised, he had no idea. But his eyes are just like, why would you ever do this? And I was like, this is not a good time to visit you. The audience is clapping, but they're not going that crazy. Like, the clapping starts dying down. And as I'm standing there, it's like hitting me that I was like, I don't think they know who we are. That guy told me they did, and they don't. They don't know that's my dad. They don't know I'm a comedian. This looks like the stupidest trick they've ever seen. It doesn't make sense. Like, they're like, a pretty girl goes in, then just a whatever dude pops out. That's your trick? Your trick is backwards, sir. It's backwards. And now I gotta do comedy, but they don't know I'm a comedian, so I get a microphone. They're like, he's gonna talk to us now? How long is this trick? And when you do comedy in front of people not expecting comedy, it does not come off as comedy. It sounds like a mean speech. They were just like, get back in the box. Where's the girl? Is she fine? Can we hear from her? We take her out. We go do stuff. I would take her to Chuck E. Cheese all the time. You can go there. They had COVID in '84. So you can't even survive in there. That's what... I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go out of business and they can't. They filed bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, you get out. We want out. They're updating nothing. That Chuck in is just robotic. I mean, the drummer doesn't even turn on. It just sits like that the whole time. They sell booze to parents now. They just give them buckets of Bud Light. They're drunk in a booth at 9 a.m. And someone drives those kids home. I don't see a bunch of Ubers and Lyfts showing up. There was a Chuck E. Cheese that got caught. If people didn't eat all their pizza, they would just put it back out on the buffet. And that would shut down any normal business. And with Chuck E. Cheese, they have thrived. I mean, when I read the story, I was like, I thought that's what they were doing. I thought we agreed that that's fine.